Welcome to the Man 360 podcast.
Thank you for joining us for another podcast here on Man 360. I'm your host, Brian, and you can always go to man360.tv, which is our website, for all the ways to watch us, for our television program, also to connect with us on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. You can just type in Man 360 TV. And if you'd like to type also in Brian Morris, you can find us. Follow us. We love a conversation. We love communicating. If you want to let us know if there's a podcast or something you'd like us to do, you can communicate with us on any of those platforms. And today, I have the distinct honor of once again, having the executive director of Man 360, also the president of Christian Television Network. We also call her Her Holiness.
Stop it.
Her presidential queenness.
You do not call me that.
I could.
Do not.
We're going to talk today about, it's Yolanda Morris, my wife.
Hello.
Hi, babe. Today I want to talk about, we just got done, actually a little over a month ago.
Yeah.
70 day travel trip. This was driving, flying, pulling the trailer. It was just like planes, trains, and automobiles, as they say. So I just want to talk with Yolanda a little bit about what we did on the trip, because I know we've had some people ask us. We actually had a request for this podcast from a few people at the network. They were like, we'd really like to hear about how you guys work together in that closed space. And we talked a little bit about that with, honoring gifts and knowing who each other are in another podcast that we did. And I've had Yolanda on the program as well before. But today I want to talk about just the practicals of what we did, and then just some of the kind of, I guess, tips and tricks a little bit about working together and knowing when to kind of stay out of each other's way, I guess, is the best way to say it. So if you want to share a little bit, Yolanda, about what we did. You always get this right. I always mess it up. I'm like, we drove here, we flew here, and you're like, just looking at me.
Well, we started in Denver, and we had the truck with no trailer. So we drove down to Dallas, and we went to NRB for the week, National Religious Broadcasters Association. We had a big booth, filmed a bunch of stuff, lots of meetings. And then we drove down to Tulsa because we have a station there.
Up to Tulsa. Yes.
Sorry.
We're in Texas.
Yes.
We drove past Tulsa.
We drove up to Tulsa.
Down to Texas.
And one of our stations was getting a remodel in the offices because they had had a flood a few months before. So we wanted to check on that. From Tulsa, we flew to South Carolina because that's a long way to take the camper.
Mm-hmm.
And in that time, our camper was brought to Tulsa. It had been stored in Florida, and our engineer was coming to do some work out west. And we got it ready. And then we drove back down to Texas. And
with the trailer.
With the trailer this time. And we stayed on the complex of Jordan Ranch.
Yeah, Jordan Ranch. Schulenburg, Texas. If anybody's listening to us around Texas.
Which was a fun cute little city.
Yeah.
And we stayed on that property for a men's conference. We filmed a bunch of stuff for Man 360 that'll come out in season 6.
Mm-hmm.
And it was amazing. They had over 1,000 guys there.
A little under.
Yeah. And
that was GF Watkins and Bill Wilson. So they'll give me a little, if you're listening to the podcast, maybe you have a little inside track for what we're going to do for season 6.
Yes. So. And Bill Wilson, I've known him since I was a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
CTN has always supported him and done ministry partnerships with him. So he's just such a wonderful family friend. It was great to be with him.
We cried together. It was great. He made me cry.
On several things. So you did a TV program and a podcast, and you cried on
I
both
cried on
of
both
them.
of them. And I thought, I would be Mr. Tough Guy for the podcast. We already did the TV program. Everything was cool. He was just sharing his heart about just how authentic, I guess, he is. That's what made me cry.
You can't hear his testimony and not cry. Like, it is so amazing how God had rescued him as a child and what he has done to be used for the kingdom. It's just incredible. And then from there, we went up to northern Texas. So we drove for like 2 straight days through Texas.
Yeah. I told Yolanda, I thought, okay, I'm from Montana. They call it the Big Sky State, right? Yolanda's from Florida, which is kind of the big boomerang. If you drive, you can drive quite a bit there.
Yeah.
But we literally drove for 2 full 6-hour days, 5 to 6 hour days, and still didn't leave
ended up in Texas.
It was pretty insane. So
Yeah.
we've been on pretty much every, I think, main highway in Texas. Much. So
From there we went to not Little Rock, Hot Springs,
Hot Springs, Arkansas.
Hot Springs,
Yep.
Arkansas. We're working on a project there with an organization to develop um, episodic thing on how the church can do foster care well.
Mm-hmm.
So we've started that. We'll be working on that through the rest of the year, just to get into the hands of churches
Mm-hmm.
of how to support families that feel the call, really is a call, to do foster care and do it well. And then from there, we went down to Mississippi. You're not
Yeah.
looking at me because I'm trying to remember. And
I know if I look at you, then you're like, you think I've got you on the spot.
No, we visited our station there and took our
I can't
staff
remember you got this right. I just remember
out.
so much driving.
Yep. And then we went from Mississippi up to Kentucky. And I have a girlfriend from college there that works at a church her dad had, and her grandfather actually established that church in Mayfield,
Mm-hmm.
Kentucky. And you preached a Sunday morning service
Yep.
there, and we just spent time. Her family is like my family, so just spent time with them, had fun with them. And then we went over to Eastern Kentucky, and we did a cool hike in one of
Oh
the
yeah.
parks there.
Yeah, it has I guess the area of this, which I didn't realize this until we got there.
Yeah.
Apparently there's more natural arches in this
There's like 56
ring. Yeah,
rock arches or
over
something.
50
Yeah.
rock arches. So we went to
Yeah.
And Yolanda and I, it's so funny because we have all these ambitions of all doing all this hiking when we go drive around, and we do good to get out once. I mean, it rained a
Yeah.
little bit,
Yeah.
and it wasn't only about maybe a mile, hike up to this
And we
natural
did
arch,
want to
but
do a kayak in a cave. I still have
yeah.
it on my list. We weren't able to do it because we didn't book it in time. So
Little
it's
side note: if you're going to do something that seems important or
it's
fun,
so hard for us to
book it.
book
I
ahead of
know.
time
We
because
don't even know what we're going to do.
we don't know what our schedule's going to be. I mean, we do know where we're going to be, but
What
sometimes
is going to happen there?
our
Right.
meetings just go really long and what the
Right.
projects we're working on.
Right.
So we still have that on our list. It was called
Fire Ring or something like that.
I don't
We had found a
remember.
good barbecue place around there too.
Oh, that was
was
delicious.
good.
Yes. But we did do a pretty hike. We made it almost to the top,
It was only
but
within like a couple 200 or 300 feet
yeah.
probably from the hike.
And we're just like, yeah, we see the
There
beautiful
it is.
arch.
So, and we hadn't been out
Had a
much. Like
time.
we're from Colorado, which is
Yeah.
good. Or we live in Colorado now. We've been here 24 years.
Yeah, my knees were just hurting a bit, and I didn't want to
We didn't want
overdo
to
it.
push it,
Yeah.
and we were having a good time.
Yeah.
Just
It was really pretty.
yeah.
So, yep, went there. Then we went down to Georgia, and
Mhm.
we cleaned out one of our buildings, and just kind of did some stuff there. Then went to Florida and worked from Clearwater. Then right at Easter, we were able to go back up and go to
Like northwest of Atlanta,
yes.
Cartersville.
So Cartersville, we have
Yep.
they're like family.
You could say that.
We have worked a lot with them and just mentored them. They're like our kids.
Mhm.
They have 7 kids. 4 are adopted. And so we got to spend time with them and colored Easter eggs. We went to church with them. So that was a really fun Easter weekend that we
Mhm.
got. We don't normally get to play that much
Right.
when we're on the road, but that was a lot of fun that we got to do. And then I think I've missed this, but in between there, we did go to Tennessee.
We did.
Well, that was after Easter.
After.
So
Yeah, it was
we
after
spent
Easter.
a week in Nashville. We had a lot to do there. We recorded some
Actually,
programs.
it was almost 10 days. We stopped there
Yeah.
longer than we were in Florida.
Yeah, for sure. And recorded some stuff and did a lot of not a lot, but some of our corporate people that answer to us
Mhm.
are there. We had meetings and things like that. And then we went to my niece's college graduation
Our alma mater,
at our alma mater, and
Evangel University.
then came home.
Yeah.
So we got a lot accomplished. I think we visited 7 or 8 of our stations.
Yep.
We did play a little bit, like a day or 2.
Yeah.
We did have a little bit of fun, but it was a very hardworking trip.
Yeah.
And when we got home, I was ready to be home, and we had a week home. So
I
that was nice.
wasn't. I mean, I wanted to stay longer, but
I know.
we did get in our accident with our trailer. Somebody backed into our trailer, which we'll talk a little bit about that in a little bit. But
Yeah.
Um, I remember the first time we took the trailer out. I remember when we booked all of our days of driving and trailer trip, we didn't really put any rest days in between there. So we were going from
Yeah.
like we'd work 3 days, we'd drive. If we were there for a weekend, sometimes a Saturday or Sunday, we wouldn't even take a day off. That would either be a drive day, or even if we were working that Saturday, because a lot of it too, and I feel like for me, the pacing of my life right now with CTN, I feel like I'm able to invest now in my leaders, which is really good. And I know that's something you've directed me to do
Mhm.
as now as your vice president, your
Mhm.
first husband, as they say. But I think for you, it's still like not a breakneck speed, but I mean, you are saying you're happy because you're down to 150 emails today, right?
Yes.
I was laughing and I was like, wow,
I was like,
that's not impressive at all.
I feel very accomplished.
But it's been, I
Yeah.
remember where we had to intentionally build those times in.
Yeah.
And even for integrity's sake, which we've done this, even when we were in Cartersville, there was another stop when we did, I think Springfield, part of that too, where we just paid for that
Yeah,
ourselves.
we pay for that ourselves.
Because it wasn't the network, we
Yeah.
weren't doing anything for work. And, we just always try to do that with integrity and, with what we do as far as how we spend the ministry's money. We
Yeah.
always make sure. But yeah,
Yeah, and we've learned that we can't work all week and then travel to the next place on the weekend. Like
it's not a rest day.
I mean, I'm gonna be 56 this year. Like that's mid
Whoa.
50s.
I wasn't going to share that.
I'm proud of my age. I don't have an issue with
Come
my age
on.
now.
Preach it, sister.
Maybe when I'm 60 I might, but right now I don't.
You got 4 years, let that
I
work into
guess
you,
so.
4.5 years.
But I learned my body didn't do well.
Yeah.
We didn't do well. Our brains didn't do well.
No.
So we try to settle somewhere for the weekend. If we have to drive that Friday afternoon to get where we
Mhm.
need to go, and then Monday morning where we do get a break
Yeah,
because
it's a
it is
rest.
hard on our body and it's hard. So I think one of the things that we're going to talk about is like the setup and tear down and stuff,
Yeah.
like because we each have responsibilities.
Yeah, go ahead and share that. So we
Yeah.
do, I guess, backing up a little bit. So before we got into the RV gig, I suppose, that we knew that was going to be a part of our world and our, using that for CTN. Yolanda did a lot of research, I think,
Mm.
in just watching different YouTube people and what they do. Mark and Trish with Keep Your Daydream KYD on YouTube was a big help for us in kind of like divide and conquer, kind of your
We
duties.
learned a lot from them.
I think the biggest thing for me, and I'm kind of a control freak when it comes to the truck or travel with things, because I always want to make sure, not that I don't trust Yolanda, but it's like my dad was always the one that took care of all of the mechanical things, getting people there, and the family just got in the vehicle and they just arrived because my dad was the one to take care of everything. And I've had to really surrender some of those duties to Yolanda. So we actually had split up, and Mark and Trish have talked about this too, splitting up your duties when you pull into a campsite. The first thing we do, I normally allow Yolanda to go in and kind of do the initial talking with people,
Check
especially if,
in.
yeah, and I don't say this flippantly, but because she's the president of the network, if she's asking or talking, be like, hey, do you play CTN here? Then she could say, hey, I'm the president of the network. We'd love to have you on, so it's kind of a glad handing in and connecting with the person at the RV park. So why don't we just share a little bit about duties and kind of how we split those up when we pull into a park,
Yeah.
what that looks like.
Well, even before we pull into a park, when we leave Denver,
Mm-hmm.
I have full groceries. I have a week's worth menu.
Yeah.
So I know, and then I usually have the first night's meal made.
Something
So it's
simple.
usually
Yeah.
like a pasta salad or
Costco, sometimes we get the pre-made.
Costco or
Yeah.
a chicken bowl or something where it's super easy.
Mm-hmm.
And that really saves us a lot.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of mental kind of planning beforehand because I have 7 days of menus that are done.
It does help too if you're traveling in warmer months, to
Yeah.
think about this. We
Yeah.
we because we can travel for work, we can kind of travel whenever we want.
Mm.
We purposely are more traveling in the off seasons. Like right now, we're not traveling during the summer.
We don't try. Like we tried to do a little bit of
Gosh, it
summer
was so bad.
and it's so
It
hot.
was so
Every
hot.
time Brian gets done and gets in the
I'm
truck and we're ready
pouring
to go, he
sweat.
has to go change his
Yeah.
t-shirt because he's pouring sweat. So we kind
And
of
I'm
have
old. I'm old and sweaty too. That
we
doesn't
kind
help.
of have this little agreement that we're not going to travel in the RV
Yeah.
in the summers. Like
Wh-
we don't have children. We
No.
don't need to do that. We're doing it for work.
Right.
And really we travel quite a bit overseas in the summers
Mm-hmm.
to hit the work that we're doing over there.
Mm-hmm.
So we've chosen not to travel in the RV in the summer.
Well, and I say this
It's
too.
just too
So,
hot
well,
and too crowded.
and the one thing we did too,
And we're old.
hot, crowded, and old. Just remember those are bullet points for today's podcast. Maybe that's what we should call the podcast on travel. We did upgrade our trailer to the chill cube. We have a Furrion chill cube in our main living area of our trailer. That is outstanding. I mean, even I know it wasn't really super warm out where we were. Actually, it was warmer than I thought. I brought a lot more fall clothes. We're like, oh, it's gonna be so cold, and it was like being from Colorado. I mean, you have to learn to layer, and it could be like a 30 to 40 point swing temperature wise.
So the viewers don't know this because we didn't say this at the beginning, but we traveled from February to mid-May.
Yeah. Yeah,
so we thought there would be cooler weather.
It was cool in Denver, but nowhere else because we were progressively going south and ended up in Florida.
It was hot.
But yeah, it's just interesting to think about. Yolanda's mentioning, I bring it back to like one meal or your food is one of the things you don't have to like get the stove going or anything like that too to make it really warm in your trailer, depending on the time of season that you go. So.
Yeah, I do a lot of like one pot meals, one bowl meals, bowls, and we eat super healthy, lots of vegetables, protein.
You think we'd be skinnier if we ate that healthy?
You think we would,
but be little rails.
Hormones have their issues.
Hormones and age, and we'll call the podcast that. So, Yolanda, share about when we pull into a park, what is your responsibility?
So I go check in.
Okay.
Check, and then I get back in the truck.
Check.
And I go with you.
Check.
And I leave. I like to tell. Sometimes they have a little cart. Sometimes they don't. That takes you. And then
KOAs, I'll say this real quick.
Yeah.
KOAs generally like to have you, they pull you into a spot. The more expensive places we stayed are nicer that had concrete pads and a little older community. They don't want you speeding through to get to your spot. So a lot of them have like a go-kart that you'll follow, or like a golf cart and a go-kart that you'll follow to get into your spot.
Yeah. So I get out, I help him back up. I kind of look at where all the hookups are, help him back up. Sometimes he'll jump out and just make sure that he's eyeing.
We have radios too.
But I think we do have radios that we use. The hard part is when the camp person is trying to help you back up, and I'm just like, I got this, but I try to be nice, about it. That
Make them feel like they're used.
It makes it a little bit more difficult because you and I know exactly what we're looking for.
Right.
So, and then once we back up, so we got a new hitch with our new trailer.
Yep.
And so that took us probably 4 or 5
months.
Parks.
Sorry. I was going to say months.
To figure out how it worked really well for us.
Yeah.
And what worked really well is you getting out, doing what you needed to do, and then me pulling forward.
Yeah, because it's hard. It's a Pro Pride hitch.
Yeah.
We got a Pro Pride hitch.
It's just a little bit more.
It helps.
It's not complicated.
No.
It's just it needs more finessing.
Well, because it swivels. The point of the Pro Pride hitch is that it swivels and moves more, so it allows the trailer to feel like it's more a part of the truck, which is great when you're traveling. When you stop, because of that pivoting head, and it moves X and Y axis and twists actually too. So you can be on any kind of terrain that really helps it. If you don't have somebody else that's actually gets it to the right height, you can see where it kind of releases from the truck. Then Yolanda gets in the truck and pulls the truck forward, and there's a stinger actually that sticks out of the back of the trailer instead of it's not on a ball. It has a rod that you push into it. So
yeah.
And we actually do that. I'll say this too. When we hook up, I also make sure that I have it at the right height. Yolanda gets in and she'll back up slowly.
I back up and move the stinger in.
And I got a backup camera that's a magnetic that I put on the back of the tailgate to be able to see that.
And I can see everything. Yep. But once we unhook that, then I do everything inside. So like pull the one slide out, unhook the refrigerator. I just do kind of all the inside stuff, get it all ready while he's hooking up the outside. When I'm done, I go out and check, see if he needs help. And then by that point, I can pull the other slide out so that the hoses, aren't in the way.
Yeah, and then she keeps the driver's side. On most trailers, the driver's side of the trailer has all of your hookups for your water, electric, all those kind of things, the sewer. So for my part, I get out once we park the trailer. I normally hook up the electric first because we want to either get the air conditioning going, or Yolanda if she wants to cook something with the microwave and all those things, hook up we always have a fuse breaker box, whatever, that we put on for the electric, hook the water up, and then do the sewer. And then I have Yolanda put the slide out.
Sometimes we don't hook the sewer up if we're just there for a day and we know we're going the next day to stay for a few days. So we don't always hook the sewer up. So.
Right. If it's only one night, sometimes we only do.
And sometimes we don't hook the water up.
So by the time that I'm done doing that, Yolanda's in her about halfway through her nap. I've got to bang on the wall to get her up, and then she comes out and helps.
There's
Just
no naps.
kidding.
There's no naps.
So we hook up, and then then we're good to go for normally it seemed like our average this time was about 3 nights.
Yeah.
2 to 3 nights. It seemed like we
It's
had a couple
easier
of
that
single
way.
nights. Getting back, we did 3 single nights.
Yep.
Getting
And
back
we
to
don't
Denver.
unhook.
Don't unhook. And normally try to get a pull-through site is always the easiest. There were 3. We did 3 pull-through sites in a row, so we could just leave the truck hooked up. Because of that Pro Pride hitch, the way it sits in the truck, we normally don't have to try to redo any leveling from the back. And it has an auto leveling feature on it too, so it's really nice.
Yeah, and sometimes depending on how long we've gone, while he's hooking up, I'll go throw things in the laundry. Get the laundry done really quick. So that just depends. So we kind of know, and then for when we're hooking up to leave.
Yeah.
Again, my job is the inside. I get everything ready, put the lock on the refrigerator, make sure all the cabinets and doors are shut. I just do everything inside, and then he does the outside. And it goes really fast. Like, we've got it down to a pretty good science. And, then when you're in the truck, I do a final walk around. Sometimes I find things like one of the underneath doors isn't locked, or you didn't plug the
truck into
plug the truck in. So there's some things. So I always walk around, even if he's like, I think I got everything. I'm like, I still do it. Check the tires, make sure the slide's all the way in. Like, that's super important. About what to do.
Yeah, I know that it seems like from when I say we're going to go, if we have to do a dump of our sewer is normally the thing that takes a little more time. Normally takes about between 35 to 40 minutes for us. I think every trailer, that's why it's always good if you're going to go on a trailer, if you're going to go on any kind of a longer trip, more than maybe 3 or 4 days, you should do what's called a shakedown trip. Our shakedown trip for our trailer the first time last year was like 40 days.
Oh, for the new trailer.
Yeah, the new trailer.
Yeah.
Which you normally don't do that.
No, you don't.
We bought a nicer trailer, so really we didn't have we
had
very few issues. Yeah.
We did a 2-day.
Yeah.
Then we did a 3-day.
Then we did
then we did a 5-day.
5-day.
So, and we spaced those out just to kind of get used to it.
Yeah,
But
it was good.
yeah.
So we've had a lot of people ask us this too, like, how do we spend time in an enclosed space like that for so many days? I think it's easier when we're traveling because we're either going to stations.
Yeah.
I know for you, and I don't know why, but like the trailer we got we knew it needed to have some type of a desk space for you to sit at and work, because you'd rather stay in the trailer and work. I know you love me, but I talk loud. The good thing about our trailer too is we have solid wood doors between the bedroom and the main living area where the desk is. So you normally stay in the desk area. I normally go back in the bedroom if I'm working at the trailer. And then I know for Yolanda that I've learned is that don't take this the wrong way.
Me?
But I know you or our listeners.
I'm like, I
know. You're like, oh, I know. But I don't talk to her unless I'm talked to. If I hear, because normally she's in some type of mode of finishing a thought, either some multi-million-dollar, some contract or some goofy thing that engineering needs, or something for satellites or whatever that are things I don't have to deal with.
Well, so a lot of my stuff is complicated. So
and my stuff's not.
Mine is mine's more complicated sometimes, because it has to do with contracts, and it has to do with
and you got to
making sure we have to have everything, all of that.
Yeah.
So if I get interrupted in a thought, it's not good.
She gets so mad. She starts throwing stuff.
Oh, stop.
She starts throwing my heart around.
Actually, I'll just say I can't talk right now. I mean, that's what I let you know.
She hasn't said shut up, but she gives me shut up eyes.
Do not. Stop
I'm
it.
teasing, and you know I love you.
So yeah, that's if I'm like typing a lot, he knows like I'm in the middle of something
and
that I can't
speed
be.
of your typing, I know too. If you're really going, she has like two different. She has like a.
Oh.
If she has like a. Like, you do not say a word. So that's just a little hints that I get.
Yeah.
I normally don't like staying in the trailer if we're working in a certain space for more than a couple days or 2 or 3 days. I'll go find a coffee shop. I have really good, Bose noise canceling headphones that I'll put on, and I'll do my stuff. But yeah, some of that is just knowing kind of your natural, I guess knowing the way that Yolanda and I are wired, we don't both need to be in a smaller space to work. I mean, we just kind of know to go our own
And
way
we're
and do our own
both on
stuff.
a lot of meeting calls, and so we
Yeah.
can't do that in the same space.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you can't leave for whatever reason, you will just go in the back bedroom, shut the door, sit on the bed and do your
Right.
meetings. And that works really well.
Yeah.
Um,
So
so
yeah,
yeah.
I know we've talked a little bit about what we did, relaxation wise, is just building that time
Yeah.
in. I always tell people that,
Being purposeful.
yeah, people are like, do you ever get days off when you're on the road? And I told them, I said, well, we don't think of our time off as days. It's more like hours.
Okay.
Sometimes we get 24 hours off. Sometimes we get, 4 or
But
5 hours.
I try to be really honest with myself and just say my brain needs a break
Yeah.
and I cannot work for 24
And you actually
hours.
do better if you take a break
Yeah.
and then get back
But
engaging.
I
So,
know, like I've been doing this a
yeah.
while. I know when my brain is tired. I know when my
Yeah.
body's tired, and I have to be honest with myself and just be like, I can't. I
Mhm.
won't answer texts. I won't answer emails.
Right.
I just need to take a brain break.
Yeah.
And so yeah, and the cool thing about our new camper is that there is a TV in the bedroom and one in the front room. So if
Mhm.
like you want to watch a game and I don't want to, sometimes I
Yeah.
watch them, but I don't want to. I can just go in the back bedroom and watch,
Yep.
a movie or something, and that helps too.
Mhm. Yeah, it
So
really does. So, I guess my kind of last kind of set of sections here is talking about, we had somebody that backed into our trailer.
yeah,
It was the camp manager, which is, so every RV camp has a camp manager, and the camp manager of this camp in Alabama, the guy that should know better than anybody else, backed into the trailer,
yeah.
and
So we
we were pulling
were
out of, or pulling into the trailer,
we were
pulling into the
pulling
park.
in during check-in time. We were within the window of check-in time.
We're the busiest time in the whole trailer park
The
time.
good thing is you were going slow
Yeah.
because you were getting ready to stop.
Yeah.
Pulling into one of the trailer spots, so
Mhm.
that's a long parking spot. And I go to get out of the door and I hear like somebody smashed ice on the ground, is
Yeah.
what it sounded like.
Yeah.
And I looked back and I just see light, like plastic
Plastic
all
light all
over,
over the
and this
ground.
truck like right near our camper.
Yeah.
I said, Brian, somebody just backed into us. And he's like, what? We didn't feel it.
Right. We were going so slow too. I mean,
Yeah.
you wouldn't
So
feel
I
it.
got out, went inside, let Brian take care of it. And I said to the girl, I said, somebody just backed into our trailer. And she turned around, looked, she goes, oh, that's our camp manager. So I felt a little bit of relief because I knew that it was going to be taken care of.
Yeah.
But I mean, I felt bad for him. But yeah, you should be aware.
Know that people
You
are
should
pulling. There's a
know.
giant white and black trailer behind you.
So
that,
there was a couple of good things. The good thing is it didn't go along one of our slides.
Mhm. Just under the door, basically. Where the door
Yeah,
went.
and the door and then one of the front lower panels. And
Mhm.
so we're getting that fixed right now. But it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
And then you took one of those magic eraser
Yeah, I had like
things.
a magic SOS eraser. It was
Mhm.
Mr. Clean magic eraser, and
And you
got
got
rid
all
of
the black
most of the
marks.
black marks off of it, so it didn't look like, Hippieville
And that
basically.
was
But
probably, was that halfway through our trip?
no, it was about 2/3. We only had a third left.
Yeah. So it didn't, I mean, you made it look nice, so it didn't look trashy when we were going to
It
our
just,
different
well,
places.
it just psychologically too.
It
I'm just like, oh
is.
my gosh. But
Yeah.
we did that, and I think it was good because our insurance, we have AAA insurance, which they were great.
Hmm.
They were right on it.
Yeah.
They did an assessment, and now they're just doing the review of it. So yeah, we're gonna get it fixed. But it was just like, it's our brand new trailer. We've gone. I mean, we drove probably about 7,800 miles last time with the trailer.
Hmm.
We did about 8,900, almost 9,000 miles this trip in 70 days,
And
and no accidents. And all of a sudden, we had an
yeah.
accident. So
But something's always going to happen. Like when we were in Nashville, you found a nail in
yeah,
the tire.
yep.
They came right out. It actually didn't pierce through the tire, so there
Mhm.
was nothing to be done. I think it was just like a
Like a tack or something.
$35 call or something
Yeah,
that we did.
that was nice too, because I could have charged more.
Yeah, he was really sweet. You weren't there when he came, but
Yeah.
he was very knowledgeable. Um, and then there was something else. Oh, was it the first one that we did, that 40-day in
Oh
the
yeah,
fall,
yeah.
where our slide was off of
Mhm.
the slide thing? We had to have somebody
Yeah, it
come
was
fix that. That was like, oh my gosh.
Well, the rails we noticed
Yeah, you
when
could see the ground when it was
yeah,
pulled out.
it was so we have flat floor slide outs on our trailers. So there's some trailers that keep the where you can kind of see the hump or the separation between where your slide is and the main floor. Ours have purposely where it just looks flat all the way to the wall. And I noticed it, I was like, that just doesn't look right. We had a guy come out and he said basically there's a nut on the end of that adjuster that just slowly creeps its way out, and that's what happened. So he put the screw or the threading back in so the slide would come all the way out, and then he put a little nick in the edge of the thread so that it would hold that screw on. So it
Mm.
never, and it's been fine ever since.
Yeah.
We haven't had a
But we
problem
did
with it.
have one more incident. That was a you incident.
Oh, we're not going to talk about that.
It was it was
We don't
it,
need to talk about that.
we should, because of somebody else could do it.
Okay, so we have a Brinkley is the trailer that we bought, and they have a siphoning issue where if you drive down the road on the newer Brinkleys, we have a travel trailer, not a fifth wheel, but a travel trailer, that the water would siphon its way out. Eventually you would get like a third less in your tank of water from water that's coming out of the trailer. So what they said is you need to put like a stop valve on the relief valves underneath the trailer,
And you can close them.
and you can close them.
Yeah.
So I had them closed from end of last season. I was going to fill the natural freshwater tank, and I forgot to open those threads, and I actually expanded the tank under the trailer, and it actually put a hump in the
Yeah, so I'm
inside.
walking around in the trailer, all of a
And
sudden
then
there's
this
a
big
hump.
hump. Yolanda's like, I
And
don't
I'm
think that's
like,
supposed to be there. And I was like,
Brian, there's a hump in our floor. He's like, oh my gosh.
so I posted on the
So
Brinkley. They have
yeah,
like a owner's site or whatever on Facebook, and I posted. They're like, well, did you do? And I go, oh no.
yeah,
So I undid those pieces, but so you have to have those open if you're putting any water into the
yeah.
water
Fresh
tank,
tank.
fresh tank. You have to have those valves open, and that was something too that Yolanda reminded me of when she does the walk around.
Yeah. So the one big thing too, as a couple, we always ask each other, if you did this, did you do this? Did you do this? You can't get annoyed with each other,
Right,
because invariably you're going to forget one time
right,
that you did it.
right.
So it's not that I'm nagging, it's that I'm like,
Well,
did you?
it's nagging with a purpose.
That's not nagging.
Yeah,
It's
it's not
that
nagging.
it's asking the question because
Right,
you don't want to make that mistake. The
right,
mistake is what makes you have issues.
right.
So you asked me if did you remember this? Do you remember this? And I ask you certain things.
Yeah,
And you have to know as a couple that you're not trying to be annoying to the person, and you don't think
right.
that they don't know what they're doing. It is just that double check that you really should be doing.
Yeah, and that's something that Mark and Trish with Keep Your
Yeah,
Daydream talk about. They were like, just slow down. Like everything you're doing,
just slow
take one
down.
pause, just step back. Don't be in a hurry
Have
to
a
get out or get in.
conversation.
Yep. And just trust each other.
Yeah.
So I think the last thing, Yolanda, is what is the fruit from the trip that you feel
Hmm.
like we got, whether it was personally, I know it was connecting with
Yeah.
Chandra and Ashley and Edwin, and
Gosh, there were so many. So NRB was awesome
yeah.
this year. We've got a lot of connections. We've gotten a lot of
Mm-hmm.
CTN studio stuff. We
Yeah.
taped things. And while I was in Dallas, I did sell one of our buildings. I was closing on a building as I was there. Um, d- Working with the organization that we're working with for the
Mm-hmm.
foster care, that was
Compact.
huge. We got
Yep.
a lot done there. Um, Visiting Chandra and just encouraging that church, being with that church.
Yeah.
That was just wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, Nashville we got a lot accomplished there.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, always when we go to Largo, we get a lot done.
Yeah.
Seeing our niece graduate from college, our alma mater,
Mm-hmm.
that was very touching. One of the things that we did in Missouri is we took a tour of Convoy of Hope, the
Oh
whole
yeah, with
facility
Lee
there.
Renee. Yeah.
Like, what is it? Like 100,000 square feet of, I don't even know. I mean, it's
Yeah,
just
it's
huge. So
crazy.
we're going to do a Man 360 program, like
With segments.
segment for
Yeah.
episode 6 on there, that we hope to film this year. But to me, that was amazing.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that stands out for me.
I think for me, it's always connecting with people that we've known through the years of our lives,
Hmm.
just to make those reconnects and not just on. I think that's one of the reasons why we always try to make trips to stations. I mean, there's obviously we do Zoom calls. Monica is our director over our managers. You know, she's always doing Zoom calls and connecting with them. But there's just something about being there in person, and I think encouraging our managers, seeing Lee and Renee was great. I think again hanging
Seeing
out with
Ashley and
Ashley and Edwin
Edwin.
and all
Yeah.
their kids, and as they've gotten older and grown up,
Yeah.
And obviously with Shandor, we always have a good time with
We
Shandor
had,
and her
I mean, it
family
was a
and
great
Mark.
trip. We got a lot done.
Yeah,
We, yeah, it was just
it was
really
good.
good.
So what was your favorite thing of the whole trip? What do you think? One, if you could say one thing.
Wow. I mean, to me, it has to be Isabella graduating college.
Yeah,
Like that's a milestone,
right.
and we're very close to our niece.
Yeah,
So,
I agree. I
do
think,
you think so?
yeah,
I
I
think.
do.
I mean, I
I mean,
do.
I loved seeing the managers that we saw.
All of it was
We
great.
love all of our
Yes,
friends.
and we stopped in Knoxville too,
Knoxville and
and
saw Theron and
yeah,
Maria.
yeah,
They're doing a great job there in
yeah.
that, the East
But
Tennessee
yeah, I
area. But
mean, and that's not really work related, but
no,
that was on our way home.
yeah.
We got to do that. So
So yeah, I do
yeah,
think that, if you do, it's kind of like, I think travel trailer trips is kind of biblical in a way, because it's like accounting the cost of what you're
mm,
doing before you go. You've got to know, what you're getting into with hauling a trailer. I mean, some of that too, like when we first bought the trailer, the truck that I had, like now I have a diesel truck that can haul, pretty much anything that we want to haul. I had a gas powered truck. The trailer was a little more than the truck, just on the physical mechanical side of it. Some of it is on the timing of making sure you're not trying to, if you're going to do it for business or for work, to make sure that you're building in those pausing times
yeah.
and building in some of that time.
Well, and so what I do is I list every day that we're
Yeah.
going to be gone.
Yep.
And then I have a list of things that we have to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have to visit the station, we have to meet with these people, we have to
Yeah.
do this. I plug those in, and then I can plug in like where would we like to be for a weekend where we could enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
That is a passing through thing. So that's kind of how we work. And then you book the sites and
Yep.
things. You do a little bit of research. Sometimes we stay in the same places. Sometimes we'll find, and
So you definitely don't.
sometimes, yes, we're like, don't do that. Um,
Again.
again. So yeah,
Yep.
it's a lot of planning, but there was a lot of fruit from this trip
Yeah.
for sure.
It was good.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for being on the program.
Sure.
I always see you for every program in some capacity. People don't, but this is good for them to hear you about you
Yes.
and what you do. So thanks for listening today to the Man 360 podcast. Again, I'm your host, Brian. You can always go again to man360.tv for all the ways to watch and listen to us. We also do a blog. Trying to do that once a week through the summer, so you can be able to connect with just some thoughts and things that we're doing. And you can go to Man360 TV on Instagram, Facebook, our YouTube page. We're always posting reels through the year as well, and different kind of snippets and things too that you can, just to kind of encourage you on your faith journey. So again, thank you for being listening to the podcast, and thanks again, Yolanda, for being on the podcast.
You're welcome.
I love you.
Love you, babe.
All right.